Whiplash was a 2014 music drama film, and no, that does not mean it was a musical. I swear, if one more person says this is a musical... Anyway, this film was directed by acclaimed director Damien Chazelle, known for some of his other films such as La La Land, First Man, and 10 Cloverfield Lane. If you add all those up, including Whiplash, you can get an average of 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, I know you guys are probably like, oh, you could have just looked this up on Wikipedia and found out all of this. I want to know how this movie became a feature film. And you're wrong, because I didn't even have to go into Wikipedia in order to do this. I could literally just search this up on Google and get all of the answers. But fine, I guess I'll now tell you how Whiplash became a feature film. If you guys don't know the process of how films are made, let me break it down for you. Step 1, planning, or the more professional term, development and pre-production. In this step, all that happens is, in a basic sense, you write a 50-word storyline. Then if that's good, you write a script, then a storyboard, then a shot list, choose locations, create legal agreements, find a studio. If no one's going to do it for you, then create a studio, then find actors, materials, as well as gear. That includes cameramen, and of course, the acclaimed director's seat. Got all that? Cool. Next, filming and or production. What you do here is you work on short films, writing scripts for short films that are not related to the feature film. Then you shoot the film depending on the length. How long it will take, shoots, varies. Then there's editing. Again, the more expertise-esque name, post-production and distribution. And basically, the title explains it all. You edit the film, check with others if it's good, and then you distribute it through studios. This is when those legal agreements come into place. And that's how you make the film. You came here to find out about how your favorite film, Whiplash, became a feature film, and now you just learned something you didn't even want to. So great, you know how to do that. But imagine you're Damien Chazelle. Great! Now forget all of that. How Whiplash became a film was a bit more convoluted. Why was this? Studios, son. Now I know this sounds boring, right? Legal agreements and studios, no one cares about that, right? So bear with me for just a minute, maybe less, and then you'll have a better grasp of the situation. Damien Chazelle went to Princeton to learn music. During his time there, he went to some incredibly competitive jazz competitions and bands. I think you can start seeing where he got the inspiration for Whiplash from. From there, he went to Harvard to learn film. Then he made his first film, Guy and Madeline on a Park Bench. Chazelle made this during his time as an undergraduate at Harvard, and this one was kind of in a way a musical. The film was similar in some ways to Whiplash, as it was partially about a Guy, and his struggles to keep his life from his musical career, much akin to Andrew, who, as we know, failed in that department. And although it got a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, it lost $30,000 at the box office. However, the movie was pretty good on average. But Whiplash though, right? How did it become a feature film? Feature being the key word. 1 hour and a half, maybe a little less, maybe a little longer. Well, throughout his career until about 2012, Chazelle was making films, right? Because he would need a lot of knowledge in order to, make arguably one of the greatest films of the last decade, right? So he made maybe 5+ films in the lead up to Whiplash, right? No! Shockingly, Whiplash released in 2012 and was Damien's second film. But I know what you're thinking. Whiplash released in 2012, ? That doesn't make sense. Wasn't it released in 2014? Well, you are correct, but during the late end of 2011, Chazelle started making the script for the feature film Whiplash, the 2014 version. But when he took the script of the movie to Bold Films, Blumhouse Productions, and Right of Way Films, they were like, nah man, no one's gonna watch this. This doesn't follow our linear storyline and script, and therefore we don't think a story about some dude and an angry teacher is gonna make it, homie. And they really said that. That is a direct quote from all of those studios. But Chazelle didn't want to give up because, and here's something you might not have known, Whiplash was Damien's precursor to La La Land, the 2016 film that came just 2 years after Whiplash, and La La Land made upwards of $417 million. He was writing Whiplash to show his chops at making a music-based movie after Guy and Madeline on the Park Bench, and he was way too far in to give up. He had already made the full script for Whiplash, so the studios gave him a compromise. If he could make a short film based off of the movie Whiplash that he had just written, based off of the 1.5 hour one, mind you, and it was good and all of that, then, and only then, they would allow him to go full on and make a feature-length Whiplash film. which, as we can see, after I ran you through how films are normally made, is completely different to the average of what usually happens. He'd already written the full one, and now they wanted him to make a shorter version. It was kind of crazy, but he still did it. He made the Whiplash short film, which surprisingly, a fair amount of people still haven't seen. It was actually only this year that I found out the Whiplash short film even existed. To be fair, I only found out the Whiplash 2014 film even existed this year too, but that's besides the point. So I'll now give you a compilation of Whiplash 2012's best parts.
Tell me it's not you, Elmer Fudd.
Jesus!
She left when I was a baby.
All right, now have fun. Okay, a little trouble there.
4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Stop. Rushing or dragging?
Rushing!
So you do know the difference.
Wow, not even as a short film? That was just genuinely impressive, right? And apparently the studios did too think that. But before we get to that, let's take a second to actually analyze this short film in of itself. This one is only about 20 minutes, but still managed to pack so much impact on the characters, the environment. It is really a spectacle and a display of Damien Chazelle's capability to make movies. There's not much of a difference between both the short and the feature besides the obvious change in coloring, going from a bland grayish white to a vibrant yellowy orange, the obvious change of actor of Andrew Neiman, and less super close-up shots due to the fact that when you have a feature film budget, you use it to your advantage. However, this movie had a budget of only $3.3 million. Keep in mind, this is the feature, not the short, which is in opposition to the average of $100 million, which I don't even have to explain how insane it is. So to compare now, instead of just showing you footage from the short, I spliced together clips from both to see if you can spot the differences.
And 5, 6, 7. Not quite my tempo. Here we go. 5, 6, 7. Dragging just a hair. Downbeat on 18. What do you suppose I just hurled a chair at your head, Neiman?
I don't know.
Sure you do.
The tempo?
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
I don't know.
Start counting.
5, 6, 7.
In 4, damn it! Look at me!
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Was I rushing or was I dragging?
So yeah, there is little to no change in dialogue, but visually, shockingly different. The feature looks like it was shot in a magnum opus of a prestigious college, which it was, but the short looks like it was shot in the back of a high school gym that made small place for the music room in the corner where the teachers go to have smoke breaks. But to be fair, the budget of the short was only $23,000 and was shot in a span of 3 days. Anyway, back to the studios. The studios loved the short and gave Chazelle the budget to make it into a feature. It was released in 2014 and was met with 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, 88% on Metacritic, 8.5 on IMDb, a 93% liking ratio, and made $49 million USD. And for my Australian audience, that's about $69 million.
Nice.
Almost everyone who had acted in the film, and even Chazelle himself, got a huge career boost. Chazelle went on to direct the musical he always wanted to do, La La Land, as well as a series of other great films. Miles Teller went on to do a fair bit of rom-com roles, and is in the upcoming Top Gun Maverick. And J.K. Simmons, well, I don't even have to bother explaining to you about him because, well, everyone knows him now. And that was how Whiplash, a short film with a budget of $23,000, shot in a matter of 3 days through the sheer strength of story and filmmaking by writer-director Damien Chazelle, was now a feature-length film.